Hello, it's Ranger Russ from the Meggs Point Nature Center, although today I'm coming to you from New Hampshire. I am at the basin, which is north of Franconia Notch. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can actually see the view here. So this is just the beginning of the Notch Trail. And I want to notice over here, there's a lot of erosion going on. You can see that washout right there. This rock gets washed around. When there's a lot of water, it washes around that. Now you can imagine how much water it would take to dig out that curve over there. It's carved right out of the rock there. So we've got some nice waterfall here. There's a moth flying around in front of the camera. That was fun. All right, look at how the trees have to grow over the rocks. It's tough for them to get a footing in here, but eventually they are able to grow, and that will allow more soil to be trapped and then more trees to grow. If you look over here, you're getting some little trees growing. I'm on a bridge right here, so we're going to look over. Look at how crystal clear that water is. Mountain runoff. Absolutely gorgeous. So let's walk along the trail here a little bit. The reception was really bad at the parking lot, so if I lose you, I'll try and keep going, but we'll see what happens. Just a beautiful little side river here. That's pretty cool. More trees kind of growing out of the rocks there. If you look at that. This is a good place to remind everyone, even in Connecticut state parks, you really need to stay on trails in places like this. High traffic areas, just the people want to wander off and you end up with a lot of erosion, a lot of outside extra work that has to be done to maintain these trails. You can see they put in logs to help control the trail, help keep the trail in place. But it's not always going to work if people walk outside of the trails. Just a beautiful stream. I don't know how well the sound picks up for you, but it's pretty cool for me, just the running water. Imagine how many years of runoff and water flow to carve this out of solid rock. Yep. Gimbal's playing games on me again. Let me re-engage it and we'll keep on going. So you can see the rocks are being carved out. Year after year of runoff. I'm hoping this isn't too slippery. It's not bad. Look at how it changes direction. A little notch in there. Stages of the water. Another little pool here. It's like this entire walk, as you go along, it just gets better and better. You think that it's just reached its max, and then you find out it's better around the next turn. I kind of don't want to talk just so you can hear the water flowing by. Here's some old trail maintenance that was done. They dropped this rock here, and that is an old jackhammer bit right there left in the rock. I'm guessing that was intentional to hold it in place. It's a bit of a rainy day, but it's absolutely gorgeous down here. It's another waterfall. Look at that view. You can see how the bank is undercut a little bit here as the currents come along. Now, if we were lower down stream, lower down out of the mountains, you would probably see that would be a good place to find fish. They like to go underneath those banks. More trees growing right up in the rocks. Those roots have to stretch right around there. That's pretty cool. We're gonna go down here, circle along. Great work here on the railings. A little bit of erosion over here though. They've had a washout. If you look at this gap, look at the rock cracked here. And over the years it has separated and been eroded away right through where people used to come to stand, and you can still stand here. It's like an awesome place. You can see there's quite a bit of moisture in the air today. It's been raining. But that just makes it even more cool. I'm gonna go over here. One of the great things about the basin, it's easily handicap accessible. Look at the trees growing over that ledge. That one's gone, but its root is still holding up the other trees. Absolutely fascinating to see that. All the way along there, just a row of trees. Look like they're growing out of solid rock. I am right now at the basin, which is it's just north of Franconia Notch, the town of Franconia Notch. Now I believe this is a New Hampshire state park system. We're not part of the national park here. I'm gonna cut by here, excuse me. All right, so let's go continue down the trail. Some nice benches they put in. Hi. So when you get out here, this is where you expect to hear some of the deep woods birds. I always listen for the hermit thrush. I think we're too early in the day though. When it gets towards evening, this is where I would expect to hear some hermit thrushes. You can hear a truck going by, a little downshift there. Some pretty nice hills around here, so they have to do a lot of that. Wow, look at the size of that tree. That is spectacular, and that looks like a... Wow, is that a hemlock? That's gigantic. Look at this birch growing on this rock ahead of me here. Its roots grew up, looking for some place to go. A root mass there, a little, that actually looks dead, but tried to grow there. Don't know that I've ever seen the roots grow up like that and then not reach anywhere, but still get so thick. Very cool. All right, another beautiful bridge, they've got a little stairway, you can go down there. I'm going to continue across though. All right, so again, I am north of Franconia Notch, town proper, at the basin, New Hampshire State Park trail system. This is a very handicap accessible trail here. The trail I was on, really easy, just a few stairs, nice wide flat trails. This is a handicap accessible trail, so I would definitely recommend it. Now, one of the big differences between here, first of all, we're at a much higher elevation than in Connecticut. But a climax forest here does not consist of the same trees as a climax forest in Connecticut. In Connecticut, we would expect to see hardwoods, oaks and maples being the primary climax forest tree. Here you're going to get softwood trees and evergreens. So we get birch and aspen, and then the evergreens, the balsam, some firs, and different pine trees. So the farther north you go, the woods change. And the higher elevation you go, it changes the same way. So, I'm going to take a quick look here, see if we have any questions. Somebody went to a wedding. They love the basin. That's cool. All right, I'm not seeing any horseback riding trails. We haven't seen any specific horseback riding trails. I'm sure there are some around here. We went by Mount Washington yesterday and they had a whole lot of horses out in a field area, so I'm sure that they have some trails. There wouldn't be that many horses without them. All right, I'm gonna wrap up by showing you the basin from the top view. We don't get rock formations like this in Connecticut for a few reasons. The elevation is one. The rock makeup of Connecticut is another. So you need a lot of snow that melts kind of fast, so you get this fast moving water over many years to create a special formation like this. So we don't get the elevation to hold the snow, to get the snow melt that you would need, and the solid rock that you would need to form this in Connecticut. So I'm going to sign off for now. If I find another spectacular place that I get reception, I will make sure to pass it along to you. Again, this is Ranger Russ coming to you from New Hampshire, hoping that you enjoy these programs, and I'll do them as soon as I can.